Hello, welcome to this trading forecast. Going to kick off with FX and then cover crypto at the end. Just going to start off with the dollar index and then cover the instruments that I like the look of the most. And yeah, you can see that we've been in this huge up run in the dollar. And it's something that I think will continue for the time being. I've had a little bit of profit taken here on Friday in this pullback. Don't think it's anything to worry about. I've set out a few levels of interest. We do have this structure. So we have resistance here, resistance here. If we come down into there, we can follow structure and see if we can get another move to the upside. Or my preferred level around 105.5. We have resistance here, resistance here. If we could come back, test this structure of support, and then we'll have resistance turn to support. And I think this would be a key area to look for some long plays on the dollar. So let's look at a few instruments I like the look of. We'll start off with pound. Let's take a look at the pound. We've got a few areas of interest. We've one marked out here around 1.21 and another one around the 1.22 area. Those are the levels I'll be looking for some selling opportunities, and we're just taking it low at a time. So you can see every time we take out a low we get a reaction. So we have a low, reaction, low, we get this reaction, low, we get a reaction. So yeah, it just makes sense to look for previous lows as a target. So if we can come up here, I'll be looking for a shift in structure in the lower time frames and then looking to take it down to that first target. That's where I'll take most of the trade off and then leave the rest to run. If we don't get an entry here, then this is the second area that I'll be looking for selling opportunities. Let's take a look at EURUSD, another instrument I like the look of. And the support and resistance is a little bit far away. We have support here and support here, and I would like for us to come up into that area to look for some selling opportunities. It's quite a distance away, so it's not something that will be on the radar at the very start of the week, but something I will be keeping a close attention on if we do start coming up into these levels. So looking for more downside on EURUSD, but may feel that pullback is necessary to get involved with. So something that you see here, pullback, and then we get the move. Can we get another pullback before we get the move again? So let's take a look at Aussie dollar. Coming into an area of interest. Well, finished on Friday. We took out a key high into support, and yeah, we'll see if we can get a nice early trade on Aussie dollar. We do have these lows here that will be acting as a target. If we break higher, get a close above, I will be looking for a deviation of this level back below for selling, or we'll be looking at this area of interest around 692 for another move to the downside. So bearish on Aussie dollar, and yeah, those are the levels that I like the look of the most, and we'll see if we can get involved with those. Kiwi, let's take a look at the levels. We have an old low here, support. We've come up, read out some stops into support, and we could see if we can get a nice trade early on in the week for a move to the downside. This area of interest around 0.62, and then we have another one around 625. We have support here, resistance. So bearish on this and bullish on the dollar, and yeah, these are the levels that I like the look of the most, and we'll just see what price action gives us in these areas. Dollar yen back in the watch list, hasn't been for a while, and price has just been squeezed between two levels. So we have support here, we have resistance here, and price being squeezed in this triangle consolidation. I am bullish this instrument, so if we break out, retest from the other side, that's where I'll look for long in opportunities. And if we come down into these areas of interest, say 134.5, that's another area that I would be interested in trying to get some buys in dollar yen. So those are the instruments I like the look of the most. As the week changes, I'll add some instruments, take some away, just see what price action's given us. Let's take a look at some crypto. We'll take a look at Bitcoin first. You can see we did have this inside bar. So we had the low, we had a deviation of the low, came up, broke structure, and now we've swept that high. So that was a good place to look for some selling opportunities, but I'm not convinced as yet. Any pullback, I'll look for a structure break. If we can get a pullback into resistance, and if this starts acting as resistance in around the 22k mark, I'll look for selling opportunities. If we miss that, I've got a longer term structure that I'm looking at, which will be longer term. If we can break below there, retest, then we'll be looking for these mother bar lows to go. So just hands off crypto at the moment, and then just waiting for a clean setup to get involved with. Ethereum didn't quite take out the inside bar high. Here we did get a deviation of the inside bar low, and it came up and it was so close. So I've marked out structure that if this was to break, we are at support. So we have support here, resistance, resistance. If we are to break, retest, then that would be enough for me to long and target this inside bar high. So if we just totally capitulate, we do have this structure that I'm looking at. Break, retest from the other side, and then that will give me a move down to the inside bar low. If that gives way, then the next low is the mother bar low. So yeah, just sitting on my hands. I do like Ethereum a little bit better than Bitcoin at the moment, just for it looks cleaner price action wise, and yeah, it's something that I'll keep you updated on. So I don't want to take up too much of your time this evening. That's the instruments I'm looking at. I'll have an update for you probably Wednesday. We'll see how the markets are moving. As you know, it's all well and good having these plans going into the week ahead, but a lot can happen even in one day, which could affect everything else going forward for the week ahead. So wishing you a nice Sunday, and I'm wishing you a profitable week.